Good evening, everybody. My name is Chris Kadetsky. I'm the group publisher here and president at BPC. Can we get a big round of applause for tonight's sages? My name is Chris Kadetsky. I'm the president at BPC, which is the parent company for DSM Magazine. I'll be your MC tonight along with our co-MC, Christy Naus, president of the Community Foundation of Greater Des Moines, who is also our presenting sponsor. Let's give them a big round of applause as well for tonight. In 2011, when Connie Weimer launched Sages Over 70, the goal was to recognize and celebrate individuals whose contributions have not only made major contributions to the community professionally, but also personally as well. There's no question tonight's honorees have made our city a better place to live through their civic and business leadership, mentorship, and community advocacy. Here at BPC, part of our mission is to inform, inspire, and elevate our communities, and celebrating these sages is exactly what we plan to do this evening. The stories and legacies of each of the sages are truly inspiring, and you're going to have the opportunity to hear from each of them throughout the evening. You can also learn more about each of their stories in the pages of our stunning DSM publication and that you can find on your table that was beautifully crafted by our DSM Magazine team and that is led by our editor, Michael Moraine. Tonight's honorees are a part of a wonderful legacy of sages that have come before them, and I'd like to take a moment to recognize any past sages that are here with us tonight. If you would, please stand and we'll give you a big round of applause. Thank you for all you do in the community. I also want to give a thank you to Life Interpretation for assisting us with this evening with sign language interpretation. We're pleased to welcome Danya Hirsch and Julia Lydahl, who are here with us tonight. Let's give them a big round of applause as well. They're here all night. Our presenting sponsor, the Community Foundation of Greater Des Moines, is dedicated to enhancing quality of life by encouraging charitable giving and connecting donors with meaningful causes that they care about. Their motto, Simply Better Together, shines through in their ongoing, impactful commitment to bettering our community. Please welcome Christy Naus, president of the Community Foundation of Greater Des Moines, and my co-MC this evening. Welcome, Christy.
So here's the, how old are you?
37.
Yeah, here's the difference between 37 and whatever I am. He can read from his phone and I have 18 font, so here we go. Thanks, Chris, and our friends at DSM Magazine for inviting the Community Foundation of Greater Des Moines to partner in offering the Sages Over 70 event and in recognizing these very special pillars in our community. It's been the Community Foundation's privilege to serve as the presenting sponsor of Sages Over 70 since this wonderful recognition began. The Sages consistently remind us that building community doesn't just happen. It takes committed leaders who step up to the tough challenges and big opportunities to carry the torch and propel us forward. Tonight's honorees continue to carry that torch in high esteem, and I'm pleased to represent the Community Foundation as we honor all they've accomplished and the ways they continue to inspire. As we celebrate our sages this evening, I'm pleased to share that DSM Magazine, once again this year, will contribute all of the proceeds from tonight's event to the Sages Over 70 Fund at the Community Foundation, which supports our Better Together grant-making programs. As you consider ways to recognize the sages tonight or the sages of the past, don't forget about the Sages Over 70 Fund, and we'll make sure that any sage you honor will know that you've made that contribution on their behalf. Your gift is a lasting legacy to the Greater Des Moines community, just like the achievements of our sages. At the Community Foundation, we're constantly making connections. We're connecting donors with causes they care about. We're connecting nonprofit organizations with one another, knowing they can have even greater impact when they're working collectively. And we're connecting those who are up and coming in our community or those who are just coming to our community with sages who can offer advice, wisdom, and leadership. So as we think about some of the strategic connections we make, we wanted to take advantage of the opportunity for connection. And And again this year, we invited our current and past sages to a luncheon in celebration of this honor, but with a fun twist. We also invited the last 2 years of the 40 under 40 class to join us for that luncheon, where they could hear about some history of our community and an opportunity for connections and conversation. And as I shared at that very meaningful luncheon last week, we often talk about passing the torch from one generation to the next. But in reality, our sages are still actively carrying their torches, and we're not ready for them to put them down and pass them on. Rather, we want them to send off flames that spark and light fires of passion and connection and action throughout this community, and your community foundation stands ready to fan those flames. So let's move on to honoring this year's 2024 Sages Over 70. Don't say you can't. Don't think poorly. Be grateful for yourself, and also thank God for your well-being. This advice shared with DSM by Bobbretta Brewton is something that her parents always said to her as she was growing up and has served her well throughout her life. Bobbretta never says she can't. In fact, she's been saying I can across the span of many decades, dedicating her life to learning as well as helping others. She's earned numerous degrees, first from Northeast Missouri State University, now known as Truman State, then at Drake University, Upper Iowa University, and finally the University of Iowa. She had a nearly 20-year career with the Des Moines Community School District and spent 40 years as an adjunct instructor of developmental writing and reading at the Des Moines Area Community College's urban campus. After leaving the school district, she was a leader at several nonprofit organizations. In her 70s, she was inspired by her daughter, who herself had just joined AmeriCorps, and by the legacy of her father, who had been in the precursor to the program 50 years before, to do so herself. After her 5-year term with AmeriCorps was completed, Bobbretta got special permission from Washington, D.C. to continue her service through the organization. Her own personal history, especially her early years in Des Moines and college, is as remarkable as her professional success. She has had to navigate many things that most successful people are not challenged by. Thus, the title SAGE is most appropriate, wrote Barry Ingebretson, MD and Chief Visionary with Primary Health Care. Sage indeed, Bobbretta. The Community Foundation and DSM Magazine are proud to recognize Bobbretta Brewton as a 2024 Sage Over 70.
I am so excited. I mean, it's like, Christy, we started together in fundraising when I was at Primary Health Care and she was over there with the Children's Hospital. And it's just amazing how our paths continue to cross in one effort or another. So thank you so much, Christy. When I saw you as being the person that introduced me, I thought, yeah, you know how long I've been in this. That's for sure. But I also want to thank everybody here. Somehow I have a connection with either you or your family, a family member, a son or daughter, and it is just overwhelming almost to see that level of support and the support being right here in this room. I want to thank DSM and the business publications, staff, owners of this whole process. And further, I remember when I used to drive Evelyn Davis to the various other sages, and she always liked this event. And I thought, oh, Evelyn, that's really nice. Yeah, I'll take you. And so now Evelyn, do you know I'm here? That's what I wonder. Evelyn, do you know I'm here? Yeah. So long-standing events like this are really helpful and inspiring. I had a lot of students that are on Facebook, and they said, "Hey, I saw you on Facebook." I said, yeah, that's coming up tonight, actually. So it crosses many generations. And in Des Moines, Iowa, sometimes they don't even know what we do here, that we have people here, that we have people of color here. And so we need to keep telling the story. As Catherine Williams told me one day right before she was passing, she said, "Bobbretta, you know you don't have a long time to get things turned around. So here I am. I've got a platform. Now I got to get things turned around." But I do remember Willie Glanton and Catherine and also Miss Davis reminding many of us, not just me, but the rest of them, you see those ladies in the red? We have a serious connection here. And so they are others that are coming up, like behind Evelyn, behind Catherine, behind Willie, behind me, actually. So you might be next year, be one of the representatives. For me, people say, "Bobbretta, you're into everything. Why? Why are you into everything?" What they fail to see is what I'm doing. I don't talk a lot. I don't carry on like I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But when you start doing, people know what you do. And I said, well, don't worry about me out there speaking up and talking a lot. Watch what I'm doing. What I'm doing is with families. Wherever there's a family issue, I'm going to be there. So sometimes I'm dealing with housing. Sometimes I'm dealing with food insecurity. Sometimes I'm dealing with community engagement and those kinds of things. But the core of it is something going on with families, or something can be better in Des Moines, Iowa, for families. And that's where I am. So I was born into a tight family unit. I had grandmothers that were quite on the ball, let me tell you, if you could only see the pictures in my head. But like my paternal grandmother was very close to God, and every day I used to watch her because we lived with her, and she would be thanking the Lord that she woke up in her right mind. And I'm going, what does that mean? Well, one day I soon learned what that meant when I didn't wake up. When I didn't wake up. And it's because of my family unit, my brother over there, my sister over there, my friends, my neighbors, who got into the middle of it. And I was in Kansas City, and my sister took really good care of me. And she's also an analyst, so she analyzed the whole situation. So that's why I am still up and walking around and doing the things that I had been doing. And I also was able to have a long talk with Jesus. Everybody remember that one song, Just a Little Talk with Jesus? Well, I couldn't speak, but I woke up in my right mind. So we had this long conversation about what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing. And I said, finally, well, I think I'm a pretty nice person, but if you get me up out of here, I'll be even better. So anyway, I want to say that because families are important, and my brother is a big brother, And we had a family that worked really hard, night and day. I remember when my sister and we all would have to go to these second jobs where we were cleaning up buildings. And our job was to empty the garbage cans, the little ones, not even the big round ones. But as a family unit, we stayed together and we made it through. And they really appreciated the fact that we stayed the course. We followed the schools. Your teacher is right. Now, if there's a problem, we'll go up and get that settled. But you don't settle any problem. You don't settle any problems. So we went through that, and that was part of what I learned from my maternal grandmother, and from my paternal grandmother, and I still remember that. Now, here's the paternal grandmother, and this is what is in my head that I can see. She was part of the Church of God in Christ, and that's the organs and the drums and the people that dance down the aisles. My paternal grandmother, she was the one that danced up and down the aisles and said, "Hallelujah, thank you, Jesus." And that's what I am here to say today, because so many people poured into me that I never could have done any of this stuff that Christy talked about by myself. And those are the things that I hold on to because I know it will make a difference. And my father always said to us, and my mother too, is that when you've done the best you can, just pray over it. Just pray over it. Because you are born to us. We're pouring into you the faith and the beliefs and the confidence that you have. And when you go out into the world, you're going to know right from wrong, and you're going to know when you employ it and when you don't, and those kinds of things. Because you still have to grow up, but don't do anything stupid, they would say. And it was like what the foundation talks about. We are better together. We are better together. When we moved from the west side to the east side, my neighbors over there at table 2, wave your hands, guys, their mother actually drove, it looked like the whole community to Sunday school. We would be packed in her car, and we would be part of that group. And I'll never forget Ms. Tolson and all that she poured into us and all of the other mothers on East 18th Street. Because when I talk about the family unit, I'm talking more about community and the rest of the neighborhoods. Neighborhoods are key because that's when families come together around a common cause. I've been an advocate for the Grub YMCA and the Reichart Center, and to see that hole right there on 9th Street, that's going to be awesome for the community. It's going to be awesome for the families, and it's also going to be a great place for youth to come and receive what our community has to give to them and actually work out their future and be part of that. So as I recognize all of the nonprofits, there are a lot of nonprofits here, and I want to thank you for the hard work that you do. And with that comes like being a member of it, or also working in those neighborhoods to help boys and girls strengthen and know where they're headed and what they're to do. And that's what Delta Sigma Theta does right there, all those ladies in red. But there are more here in this community. They're called the Divine Nine. So they are social groups that are really coming on and being part of board members to kind of help the nonprofits, and also to help the family units. Because anything I say is it good for families? So in that regard, I would, in my closing remarks, I want to thank all of you, and I know we've worked together in other ways. And for the legacy group, the rest of us, there's still work out there. You know, you can become a member of a board, and you can share what the possibilities are, because you've been around the block. You know, some of you have raised your own children, and that's the perfect time to say, oh, I can help in that way. And you can also join AmeriCorps. Now, I'm a member of AmeriCorps, and it takes a certain kind of effort and attitude to be able to do that, because it's like commitment, real commitment. But be a tutor, be a mentor, be something that can be more short-term and can make a difference in the lives of kids and ultimately the families. So thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so now I can go down? Look at that. Oh. Okay.
Our next supporting sponsor, Edgewater, boasts a gorgeous 50-acre campus in West Des Moines. It offers a full continuum of care, including independent and assisted living, memory support, and long and short-term rehabilitation. Joining us today from Edgewater is Sales Director Renee Wingham. Give her a round of applause.
At Wesley Life, we believe the experience of aging is about creating opportunities to pursue joy. Hear from past sages and aging champions as to what brings them joy. Take a look.
There are so many things that bring me joy as my life goes on. I find great joy in working on projects in the community.
What brings me joy? Well, of course, first and foremost, the family. That's really important.
Being a grandparent, I knew it was going to be wonderful and cool, and I never imagined it was going to be as awesome as it's been.
It brings me joy to know that I am helping somebody that's deserving. You feel better inside. You're helping people that need help.
I feel at age 92, I am as filled with joy. I wake up absolutely happy and eager to enjoy my day, each and every day.
I think every day you have to find joy. There's always something that's going to brighten your day and make it better.
Anytime you can elevate the idea of joy, I think it's wonderful.
As the Director of Sales, I have the privilege every day of interacting with sages at Edgewater. I hear countless stories of the journeys they've been on with their careers and their families. There are no two stories that are alike, and every person is looking at this next phase of life as a time of reflection and oftentimes as a time of new growth. Since 2009, our residents have been discovering how exciting it is to live in a community where connections are formed and endless opportunities are provided to laugh, to learn, and to live with a sense of purpose and joy. Tonight, we continue to celebrate and elevate the joy of these amazing sages they have brought to our communities and the impact that they have made in the lives of so many. As you saw in this video clip, pursuing joy is a lifelong journey. Having the opportunity to give back, to learn something new, and to appreciate and spend time with family and friends is the cornerstone of being grateful. Congratulations, Sages, on leading the way and making a difference.
Understand that every road has bumps. Take those bumps and learn from each one. The universe will unfold exactly as it should, and these bumps will allow you to learn what you're capable of doing. Dr. Richard Deming, through both his medical practice as a leading oncologist and through Above and Beyond Cancer, the nonprofit he founded to support cancer survivors and those touched by cancer, has been helping people navigate those bumps in the road his entire career. Above and Beyond Cancer started out as a transformational journey to Mount Everest for cancer survivors. While those journeys are still a part of the programming, they've expanded to offer over 20 free fitness, wellness, and mindfulness classes per week and provide free hotel rooms for patients getting cancer treatment in Iowa, all while embodying Dr. Deming's motto, "It's a great day to be alive." Staying in Des Moines and making his life here was not a sure thing when Dr. Deming moved in 1989. He said at first he purposely tried not to make any connections in the case that wasn't the right fit. But getting involved with the YMCA changed that, leading to lifelong friendships with a group he affectionately calls the Y-Rats. His impact on the community since then cannot be overstated. He's a friend and mentor to many, a teacher, an inspiring creator, a leading physician, and so much more. Dr. Deming inspires others to believe they can achieve more than they thought possible, wrote Shannon Cofield, president of MercyOne Des Moines Foundation. The Community Foundation and DSM Magazine are proud to recognize Dr. Richard Deming as a 2024 Sage over 70.
Well, thank you, but you just gave half my speech. It's a great day to be alive. That's what I was going to say. It is a great day to be alive, and finding joy is, it's a necessary component of being a human being. And, we're not talking about pleasure. I mean, there's nothing wrong with pleasure, but, a beer on the beach is not like joy. Deep-seated joy includes sorrow and suffering, and joy goes right through the middle of that and comes out the other end. And so I'm glad, Bobbretta, that you showed that little reflections on joy, because that is so important. First of all, so I get 2 to 3 minutes, and I've got 5 minutes of thank you. So, but I am here today because I have been inspired, mentored, schooled by so many of you. And this is a reflection of what I have learned in Des Moines for 35 years. And it is true. I don't know who I told that to, but it's in writing now that when I came to Des Moines, I had been 9 years in the Navy, 2 years here, 2 years here, 2 years here. I had lots of possibilities, and it's like, I don't know where I can't. Okay, I'm just going somewhere for 2 years, and I'm not going to make any connections, and I'm not going to get involved because it may not work out. And it wasn't until I got involved that, joy came to me. But first, let me thank, first of all, Connie Weimer, amazing, the BPC, DSM Magazine, truly an inspiration. I want to thank my nominator, Shannon Cofield, and all my friends at MercyOne. I have been at MercyOne for 35 and a half years. MercyOne has schooled me, has allowed me to have this ministry that has just really affected my life in so many ways. Thank you for the opportunity to be part of Mercy. Thank you, Community Foundation. I really thank John Syverson, who connected me, and the next thing you know, I'm on the board and have 10 years, including 2 years of chairing during COVID, talking about getting schooled, and what one learns and the rewards that come from bumps in the road of life. Above and Beyond Cancer. I mean, thank you to all my friends Above and Beyond Cancer. I am here today because of what I have learned from my cancer patients, from their families. They continue to inspire me. Thank you to the Arts Center, the YMCA, American Cancer Society, Iowa Cancer Consortium, and there's 5 organizations I'm on the board of right now that I want to thank. You know who you are. Thanks to my friends. So my book club group, I'm part of what we affectionately call ourselves the Old Man Book Club. And thank you to my friends from the YMCA, the Y Rats, because it is an absolute true story that I didn't really get engaged in Des Moines until I started going to the Y, and I had a membership for a year before I ever went. And the best friends in life are the ones I met hanging out from 4:50 to 5 a.m. waiting for them to unlock the door at the YMCA. Some of you will only say good things about me and just come up and, say nice things. My friends will tell me the truth. And you need to have not just colleagues and people that you meet at cocktail parties who say nice things. You need to have friends that will tell you the truth. And so I thank them. Again, I am inspired by patients and their families. What started off for me 35 years ago, coming to Des Moines, was a career in medicine. And that has become a ministry of healing. And that has made all the difference. A day shouldn't go by without a poem. So my parting words are a poem I will share with you. Don't laugh at me. That's my friends. You guys think, oh, a poem. And they're going, oh, no, another poem. So, Brian, these are the facts of life, according to Padraig Otuma. The facts of life. That you were born and you will die. That you will sometimes love enough and sometimes not. That you will lie if only to yourself. That you will get tired. That you will learn most from the situations you did not choose. That there will be some things that move you more than you can say. That you will live and you must be loved. That you will avoid questions most urgently in need of your attention. That you began as a fusion of a sperm and an egg of 2 people who once were strangers and may still be. That life isn't fair. That life is sometimes good and sometimes better than good. That life is often not so good. That life is real, and if you can survive it well with love and art and meaning given where meaning is scarce. That you will learn to live with regret, that you will learn to live with respect. That the structures that constrict you may not be permanently constricting. That you will probably be okay. That you must accept change before you die, but you will die anyway. So, you might as well live, and you might as well love. You might as well love. You might as well love. Thank you.
I think we're all lucky he found some gym rats at the Y, right? All right, our next supporting sponsor here tonight is Foster Group. Celebrating 35 years, Foster Group is an independent, privately held, fee-only financial planning and investment management firm. At their core, Foster Group strives to make a difference. They are best equipped to do so by serving those who are driving positive change in our communities and beyond. Please welcome Reed Rinderneck, Senior Lead Advisor with Foster Group.
Gosh, I hate following Dick. Yeah. First of all, congratulations to this year's Sages. You belong to a select group of people who have made and continue to make a remarkable contribution of service and wisdom to our community. Foster Group's honored to sponsor the event, and we value wisdom. And have been providing wise financial counsel for the past 35 years in our fabulous state. And as I was looking at all the recipients, I was just writing down like, oh, I've got some things in common with them. So Bobbretta, my mom, was a teacher for 35 years and taught some in Des Moines Public Schools. I've had 2 bouts with cancer and was on the board at Above and Beyond Cancer, Dick. I get to work with Connie's son-in-law, Brad, at Foster Group for the last 20 years. I bought plenty of real estate and know Gerry, and you know, his wife, Mary Lou, worked with Kurt Warner on a Habitat for Humanity project. My wife, Katie, worked with Dave's wife, Paula, at NIMASTER, and bought plenty of cars from the Willis Group over here. And that's ongoing, unfortunately. I mean, fortunately, ongoing. But you know, in our industry, investing in wealth management, Warren Buffett is one of the most famous sages. And one of his favorite quotes was, in the business world, the rearview mirror is always clearer than the windshield. Now, this quote isn't only for my friend Rich Willis and a car quote, but all of these amazing recipients have demonstrated that despite the uncertainty of life and business, they've invested in the great people of our community. And you know what? We are just thankful for all of you. Our vision at Foster Groups help clients pursue lives of meaning and generosity. And as all of you being honored tonight have been doing, living lives of meaning and generosity. And I hope you all have many more years in front of you to live lives of meaning and generosity and continue to provide wise counsel. And again, our most sincere congratulations and gratitude. Thank you.
Speaking of gratitude, gratitude is one of the most stabilizing factors in any person's life, shared Connie Isaacson. Connie's always been adept at fundraising, something she says requires both passion for the organization and the project, as well as the ability to build strong relationships. To that end, she's left an indelible mark on Central Iowa, raising $15 million as development director at Blank Children's Hospital and raising $14 million while at the Des Moines Art Center. Her consulting business, Isaacson-Syverson Consulting, has helped guide numerous nonprofits through their capital campaigns, generating over $80 million in gifts. In total, she assisted over 70 organizations in the 15 years she was in the business. Connie also is credited with helping jumpstart a stalled fundraising campaign to help build the nation's largest skate park right here in Des Moines, Iowa. Connie's reach extends far beyond fundraising as she serves or has served on the boards of numerous nonprofit organizations, including Wesley Life Foundation, the Des Moines Pastoral Counseling Center, now known as, let me get this right, Mind and Spirit Counseling Center, and Every Step, and has numerous other volunteer activities. Others have admired her impact. Connie exemplifies success in whatever she takes on. A capital campaign, leading a board of directors in strategic planning, supporting her husband Dick, her 5 children and their spouses, and 18 grandchildren, or leaving a perfect May basket at a friend's door, wrote Lori Beth Sloterdijk, former director of development with the Mind and Spirit Counseling Center. Michael Eagle, general and artistic director at the Des Moines Metro Opera, wrote, "Our city is better today in large part because of the work that Connie Isaacson has done in helping individuals and organizations see their potential and realize their vision." And I'll add my own comments because I've called Connie my teammate and friend since we were colleagues in the 90s at Blank Children's Hospital, and then in building and strengthening our critical nonprofit sector in the decades since. Connie is the epitome of intelligence, strategy, grace, coupled with dedication to friends and family, and topped off with a passion for the community. I couldn't be more honored than to join DSM Magazine to recognize Connie Isaacson as a 2024 Sage over 70.
It's so fun to look out and see so many familiar faces, friends from many realms of my life, and people I've been so privileged to work with over so many years. But I have to point out at the table right in front of me that I see Gerard and Lizzie Neugent, who I watched grow up from the time almost that you were born. And so it is so fun, Gerard and Lizzie, to see you right there smiling back at me. When I was growing up on my family farm near Hubbard, Iowa, gathering eggs in a very smelly hen house, washing the milking machines in a tiny little building, or detasseling corn on really hot summer days, I could not have imagined the life I live today. That I would leave for college to study nursing and not return to my rural roots. That I would live my entire adult life in Des Moines. Nor could I have imagined that I would be blessed with 5 remarkable children, and later 18 beautiful grandchildren that my husband Dick and I affectionately call Team Grand. I probably couldn't have predicted either that I would transition from a really meaningful career in nursing midlife into a new role as a nonprofit consultant, because I believe so strongly in the important work that nonprofits do throughout our community. So when I pondered what wisdom I might share with you tonight, I kept returning to those early memories and those early days and the lessons that I learned from my very first role model, which was my grandmother. She taught me that people are always more important than things, always. And she taught me that the very best gift you could give to anyone is your gift of time, always. In today's high technology, fast-paced world, it's not easy to remember that it's important to give your time, make time for people. And I would add to those 2 thoughts, too, something that resonates with me, and that is, do your best to succeed at home first. And do not confuse your career with life. They're not the same 2 things. How blessed I am that in the past 15 years, Isaacson Consulting, now Isaacson-Syverson Consulting, was trusted to partner with so many wonderful nonprofit organizations. I've been humbled and really privileged to assist scores of nonprofits, all with missions dedicated to making life better for others. I'm grateful to so many of you in the room this evening who brought vision and passion to really transformational projects and allowed me to assist in small ways to help bring those projects to fruition. I think of Wesley Life and its Meals on Wheels expansion that can now serve up to 3,000 meals per day to older adults and veterans, and that is the only Meals on Wheels organization in our entire country that has a hydroponic farm in the lower level of the building. And in this year alone, 5,200 pounds of greens have been harvested to make those meals fresher and healthier. And then I think about the people who believed we could have a world-class skate park in downtown Des Moines. As Christy mentioned, and as it turns out, the Lordson Skate Park at 88,000 square feet is the largest skate park in our nation, situated on our beautiful riverfront, and already hosting Olympic qualifying competitions. These are just 2 examples. I cut out several more, and I'd like to tell you about all of them. But I knew Christy and Chris would silence the mic and indicate I should be seated again. So therefore, I'm only going to give you those 2 examples. But I want to tell you that, gosh, I've been blessed. That working on these community projects really allowed me to learn from the most dedicated, the most talented, the smartest leaders and volunteers in our community. And from these special relationships and the collaborative work that's accomplished together in Central Iowa, 3 really important principles have been cemented in my mind. I decided today that not only are they cemented in my mind, they're cemented in my heart, and they are a part of my being. And those are: live and lead with integrity, live and lead with kindness, and to paraphrase Margaret Mead, live and lead knowing that even a small group of committed leaders working collaboratively can create transformational change. I want to thank everyone that came tonight for taking time for people, to honor Gerry and Mary Lou, Bobbretta, Dr. Deming, Dave, and Rich. I'm really humbled to be a part of this group of sages. I also want to thank my family, my husband Dick, the 5 Ike kids and their loving spouses, and those 18 grands that I mentioned. Many of them are here tonight. I am so blessed to have them. They are my greatest blessing. And I'm so proud of them that each in their own unique way is working to make the world a better place too. And finally, I want to thank Connie Weimer, who has been my role model and who I have admired for years, and who never said no to me when I showed up on her doorstep yet again to get her insights into another community project. Thank you, Connie. The 7 of us being honored tonight are septuagenarians. Septuagenarians. That is code for being pretty old. But please do not think that we are going to sail into the sunset anytime soon. The 7 of us are sages, and a sage, as Barry Barkin wrote, is a person who is still growing, a person who is still a learner, still with potential, and whose life continues to have promise for and connection to the future. And what is a sage's work? A sage's work is to synthesize the wisdom gained from a long life and formulate this into a legacy for future generations. So congratulations to my fellow honorees for the legacy you are each leaving in this community. And thank you to Business Publications and to the selection committee for considering me to be worthy of being a sage.
Congratulations again, Connie. The Wesley Life Foundation has been a longtime sponsor of our Sages Over 70 event. Wesley Life is committed to ensuring independence, health, and well-being of older adults wherever they call home. Wesley Life believes everyone should have the opportunity to live a life of continued growth, experience, engagement, and meaning, regardless of physical, social, or economic circumstances. With us today to share a little bit more about Wesley Life Foundation is Vice President of Philanthropy, Sophia Ahmad.
Good evening. Thank you. As Chris said, my name is Sophia Ahmad, and I serve as Vice President of Philanthropy at Wesley Life Foundation. On behalf of our board, our President and CEO, Rob Kretzinger, and our executive team, thank you to Business Publications for producing this impactful event, and to our friend, the premier sage, Connie Weimer, who envisioned this celebration of older adults who have impacted our community for generations to come. Tonight reminds us that aging is a gift reserved for those of us fortunate enough to grow older. Wesley Life's vision is to be a dynamic and inclusive champion to revolutionize the experience of aging. And at Wesley Life Foundation, we work toward that vision by securing vital funding to meet critical health and well-being needs of older adults, including addressing food insecurity through Meals on Wheels, as Connie articulated, upholding the Good Samaritan promise, which assures our residents that they will have a forever home with us, and providing for compassionate and person-centered directed hospice care. Sages, you inspire us. Thank you for your leadership, your philanthropy, and your volunteerism. You have transformed your lived experiences and wisdom into profound impact. Thank you for experiencing and revolutionizing aging in our community alongside of Wesley Life. Rich, we honor you for your remarkable civic leadership and service on our Wesley Life board to empower older adults to pursue their purpose and joy. Connie, your past Wesley Life Foundation board service and wisdom invigorated our community to commit over $11 million to triple our meal capacity at Meals on Wheels for food insecure veterans and older adults. Dr. Deming, your caring, compassion, kindness, and integrity is contagious, as we all experienced this evening. Mary Lou and Gerry, thank you for your roll-up-your-sleeves citizenship and your most recent leadership endeavors to address affordable housing in our community. Bobbretta, what a wonderful legacy you have established through your remarkable career in volunteerism. And Dave, we appreciate you and recognize you for your years of public service. To honor our sages, we can model their dynamic lives of service and generosity toward others. At Wesley Life Foundation, this includes supporting vulnerable older adults who can no longer support their own basic needs. We encourage you to learn how you can help support these individuals, our collective neighbors in need, at wesleylife.org/foundation. Sages, congratulations again, and on behalf of Wesley Life, thank you. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you, Sophia, and thank you to Wesley Life. Try to keep conflict from being personal. I've always tried to bring humor into it as much as I possibly could, just to keep the temperature down. For 40 years, Dave Roederer had worked in nearly every corner of state government in Iowa, including stints in the Departments of Public Safety, Criminal Justice, and Commerce. In 2021, he retired as director of the Department of Management. Whether we knew it or not, his influence was making a difference for both the general population of the state as well as those that he worked directly with and for him. Terry Branstad, current president of the World Food Prize Foundation and former governor of Iowa, wrote of Dave, "When we were in the heart of a tough budget issue, or in the midst of political discourse, or maybe just tired at the end of a long day, David lightened our day with a humorous quip, taking the edge off. Everyone needs a Dave in their life." Since leaving his career with the state, Dave has started StrataVizion, a company specializing in strategic planning, project development and management, and visioning and policy development, where he serves as the managing partner. He's also active with numerous nonprofit and civic organizations. Terry Rich, president of Rich Keynote LLC, wrote of the unseen impact Dave has had on the lives of all Iowans. His role as the brains and drive behind multiple Iowa governors kept Iowa and our community fiscally solid over the years. His ethics and integrity were beyond reproach. The state's foundation of building reserves and hiring talented people to lead our principles that fell on which that helped build Iowa's financial future for every citizen. It will be recognized as a great personal legacy. The Community Foundation and DSM Magazine are proud to recognize Dave as a 2024 Sage Over 70.
Thank you. When I received a voice message from Connie Weimer, at first I thought it was an AI scam call. It sounded like Connie, but it started out, "I don't know whether you remember me." I was immediately suspicious because anyone who has met Connie never forgets her. When we connected, she said that I had been nominated and selected for the Sage Award. I did not know that I had been nominated. I thought maybe sage had a different meaning nowadays. I recall the first time I heard somebody referred to a person as a goat. And they soon told me that, no, it's not an animal. It's the greatest of all time. So I thought maybe sage had a darker meaning in life. For the past decade, I served as the director of the Iowa Department of Management, which included being the state budget director. I was called many names, but never a sage. I asked spouse Paula if she knew anything about the nomination. She said yes, that Angie, Paula's daughter, and my stepdaughter nominated me. And Paula assisted in preparing the nominations. Now, they decided not to inform me, which was a wise decision, because sage was about to become rage. I'm very honored to receive this award, but most honored, Angie, that you nominated me. To which I thank you. A heartfelt thank you to Paula, along with the gracious letters of support that were all coordinated by her. I asked Paula how many you had to pay and how many she ghost wrote. She assured me none. Thank you, Des Moines Magazine, for not requiring the authors to provide proof to back up their beautiful words. What little I may have contributed to other people's lives, I've received much more than I ever gave. We encounter challenges and problems, and we realize that we can't solve all the problems. But no problem is ever solved unless it is faced. We learn that there is your way, my way, but the right way, the wrong way, the best way, and the only way does not exist. That's why it takes all of us. Friends and colleagues, especially family, play a huge part in one's life. Our diverse family is like a half an ark. We have one of each kind. Now, 20 of the 30 were originally here tonight. I don't know where it happened to all of them, but they were here tonight. So I thank you, gang, for being here, but more importantly, for how much I learned from you. Congratulations to all the recipients, to Connie and DSM Magazine team. Thank you for this wonderful evening and being such a positive influence and leaders in our community. And thank all of you for being here tonight.
Congratulations to the goats. All right, our next supporting sponsor, Broadlands Medical Center, strives to build a healthy community where there's accessible, cost-effective, and high-quality patient care for all. Their team of over 1,200 dedicated employees and physicians work together to ensure that all individuals have access to the care they need. Broadlands couldn't be here with us tonight, but they send their heartfelt gratitude for all the ongoing efforts of our sages that help make this community a great place to live. We're happy also to welcome a new sponsor to our Sages event this year, Willis Automotive. With its storied history, Willis Automotive has continually evolved, expanding its services and offerings to meet the changing needs of its customers. Throughout their evolution, one thing has remained constant: Willis Automotive's rich family traditions and unwavering commitment to the community. Please welcome Matt Sokolowski, Chief Operations Officer at Willis Automotive.
Really, following Dave. Honored to be here. Our unofficial motto at Willis Automotive is we're in the people business. We just happen to sell and service cars. Being in the people business doesn't stop with our teammates and our guests. It includes a responsibility to our community and making Central Iowa a better place. We have 6 core values. Real quick, I'd just like to share them with you. We operate with honesty and integrity. We demonstrate a can-do attitude. We exhibit professionalism in all we do. We're centered on faith, family, and community. We're enthusiastic, energetic, and competitive, and we're evolving and never satisfied. Making Central Iowa a better place to live and thrive is of paramount importance to us at Willis Automotive. That's why being here tonight is such an amazing event to be a part of. And so thank you for including us. Congratulations to our winning sages. Thank you for your commitment to our community. Thank you for your mentorship. Thank you for your great example. You are all a blessing to the Des Moines community. Thank you.
Be generous with your time, be generous with your heart, and be brave. Find something you're passionate about, and it will lead you to an opportunity to serve. The Neugents have found opportunities to serve for sure, both together and separately. To make meaningful contributions to the community, they've worked together. From their first project together leading the renovation of the parish hall at St. Anthony's Parish, to their most recent project, co-chairing the Greater Des Moines Habitat for Humanity's $10.5 million capital campaign. They have served our community well. Mary Sellers, president of the United Way of Central Iowa, wrote of the Neugents, Gerry and Mary Lou embody the true essence of philanthropy and civic responsibility. Their generosity, leadership, and tireless dedication have not only strengthened numerous organizations, but have inspired others to give and serve. Both have been recognized as Outstanding Volunteer Fundraisers of the Year by the Association of Fundraising Professionals, with Mary Lou recognized in 2017 and Gerry in 2022. When you look at their combined contributions to our community, it's remarkable to consider when they first came to Des Moines so Gerry could attend Drake Law School, they viewed it as a short-term stop, planning to leave after 3 years of law school. Gerry and Mary Lou's impact extends far beyond their fundraising and volunteer efforts. They are 2 of the most authentic, kind-hearted individuals any organization could ever hope to have as volunteers, donors, and friends, wrote Lance Henning, CEO of Greater Des Moines Habitat for Humanity. They give selflessly with their whole hearts, and their actions consistently reflect a deep-seated belief in the importance of community and service. Bill Knapp reached out to me over the weekend asking to share the following remarks with Gerry and Mary Lou. Susan and I regret we cannot be with you this evening. No one deserves the Sages Over 70 recognition more than the 2 of you. Gerry's worked for Knapp Properties for more than 25 years. He was the best hire we ever made! Exclamation point. He and Mary Lou have been involved in the Des Moines community longer than I can remember. Mary Lou for serving with Habitat for Humanity in the Catholic schools, and Gerry for leadership on many fund drives and throughout the community. Congratulations to you both. Bill Knapp. Well, the Community Foundation and DSM Magazine joined Mr. Knapp in recognizing Gerry and Mary Lou Neugent as 2024 Sages Over 70.
We're going to tag team a little bit.
First of all, it was 31 years ago I went to work for Bill. So you know I didn't ghostwrite that letter. So but anyway, thank you for a very nice introduction. And Mary Lou and I want to thank you, Connie, and DSM Magazine and Business Publications, the entire network of your operation. It's just a great part of our community. We want to thank the sponsors. We want to extend our congratulations to the other members of our class. You know, it's rarefied air to be categorized with these wonderful people. And we want to thank the nominees and the people that wrote letters of support for us. We are very honored and humbled to receive this. And it's especially humbling and thankful for the fact that I'm a co-honoree with my wife and life partner for the last 51 plus years. Anyway, one half of the qualification is to be over 70, so I can attest to that. And so I'm going to turn over to Mary Lou to talk about being a sage.
Thank you, Gerry. My parents, Mary Louise and Emery, were remarkable role models to me, as well as very humble servants. I grew up in suburban Chicago with my 3 brothers in a neighborhood that was teeming with kids. We were reminded every day the importance of thinking of others, welcoming the stranger, kindness is extended, and supporting our community. In our house, do unto others was all my mother had to say to remind us to always be kind. After her retirement from social work, my very talented mother continued to extend kindnesses towards others as she knitted caps for kids from thrift yard yarns she found here and there. My mother would bring bags and bags of warm knitted hats to distribute in Des Moines through Catholic Charities. She created so many hats in so many colors that we began to see children in Des Moines donning her caps on cold winter days. Do unto others, she would say. My father, a gruff World War II Navy veteran / construction manager, didn't put up with much from his 4 kids. He was tough, and he was a longtime member of AA. For years, he quietly sponsored struggling individuals through the 12 steps. Sometimes he would go out late at night to help someone in trouble. After his retirement from construction, he continued to serve many years as an alcohol addiction counselor near their home, patiently helping others to tame the demons that had long haunted him. Do unto others, he would say. And so it was through their selfless examples that I learned that we are all called to serve, and so we do. Gerry and I met in college when we were just 19 years old. Soon after we graduated, we married and moved to Des Moines, where, as Christy mentioned, he was enrolled at Drake Law School. Although we thought Des Moines would be a blip on our road of life, we were very mistaken. We stayed, and Des Moines became our family's home. It was our best decision. We thank the many nonprofits and organizations that have invited us to be a part of their growth and success. We are here tonight because of your generosity in inviting us in to listen, to learn and share your stories, helping to make connections, share optimism, and spark growth. Working side by side with many of you in this room tonight, we have witnessed the generosity of our community. We serve joyfully because we are all called to serve. How can we continue to do so? A Jesuit spiritual leader, Dr. David Fleming, reminds us this way. Service is humble. Service is expressed in deeds more than words. To follow is to serve. To be available is to serve. To believe, to listen, and to trust is to serve. To accompany is to serve. To forgive and to be compassionate is to serve. And we also learn that to serve is to share what we have been given. Our volunteerism is not about being recognized. It is about serving this community that welcomed us so long ago. This is the community that provided our family a new place to call home, and we are grateful.
Thank you, Mary Lou. You know, I want to echo what Mary Lou said. This is a very open and welcoming community. We've been given the opportunities to be involved, to be a part of change, and sometimes part of leadership by some very wonderful organizations, all of which are dedicated for the betterment of this community. Our advice to young people is to get involved, to take a seat at the table, to embrace leadership. I too learned from my parents the importance of service to the community. They believed that it was our duty to leave this place better than we found it. Professionally, I've had the good fortune, as mentioned, to work with Bill Knapp for a number of years, whose leadership and philanthropic efforts are well known. He taught me the importance of service and to lift up those that are less fortunate. And although I don't have a poem, but I wanted to get back to my opening comments about age. You know, being 70, it just seems like the time just flew by. It seems like we were just starting last year, but we've had a good life. We continue to have a great life. And the one observation about being 70 is from that great philosopher, Joe Walsh of the Eagles, who said it was a lot more fun being 20 in the 70s than being 70 in the 20s. So there we are. That's what we got. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, family.
Yeah, thank you.
My goodness, I love this event so much. Work hard, be honest, be kind to the customer, treat them like you want to be treated, and that's what will bring you and us repeat customers over and over again. Who does that sound like in this room? A chance encounter and an offhand comment from his father to Chuck Betts 50 years ago set in motion the story of Rich Willis's life. Shortly after his father's talk with Mr. Betts, Rich started washing cars at Betts Cadillac and ultimately took ownership of the dealership in 2000. So as he says, he's still washing cars today. Under his leadership, Willis Auto Campus has grown to a 9-brand, 26-acre campus with nearly 450 employees. Rich has been a consistent presence in the central Iowa community as well. He's served on a long list of area boards, including those for Simpson College, Blank Children's Hospital, Principal Charity Classic, Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Iowa, and IMT Insurance, to name but a few. He also helped establish a partnership between the dealership and Des Moines Performing Arts to sponsor the Willis Broadway series, which we all enjoy. Rich has received numerous awards and recognitions. In 2018, he was inducted into the Iowa Business Hall of Fame. In 2019, he and his wife, Kim, received the United Way's Tocqueville Society Award. In 2014, he received the Robert D. Ray Pillar of Character Award. Rich is a dedicated leader, philanthropist, and community advocate. Whenever Rich is involved, one can be certain that the bar will be set high, and with Rich's can-do attitude, you can count on a positive outcome, wrote Suku Radia, former CEO of Bankers Trust. He has consistently demonstrated an unwavering commitment to improving the lives of others. His contributions have left an indelible mark on our community. A mark, yes, but in fact, Rich's fingerprints cover this community and well beyond. The Community Foundation and DSM Magazine are proud to recognize Rich Willis as a 2024 Sage Over 70.
I think I'm the only thing between you and going home. Well, I can tell you, when you're a W, you're last in many things. But before I get into my notes here, I will reflect on a Callahan Junior High School graduation. I was invited to come speak to the graduating class. So this was 30 or 40 years ago. No, not that. Probably 20 years ago. And so then I was going to read all the names of the recipients of their graduating diploma. And of course, the teachers have got the kids all lined up. A's, of course, to begin with, and Z's at the end. No, I said, we're not going to do it that way. I didn't tell them that ahead of time. I told them at the point that it was time to give the diplomas, we're going to start with the Z's. The teachers went nuts. We got these kids. Anyhow, it was my show, and I took care of it. Connie, thank you very much for putting this together so many years ago. I do know my partner, Chuck Betts, was a sage as well. Christy and Chris, terrific, thank you very much. And I thank Suku Radia for the nomination. By the way, if you ever need somebody to nominate you, you want Suku to write the letter. He is unbelievable. I want to recognize Kim and our family over here. Thank you all for being here, and the other leaders at our table back here, the second table back, and thanks for all you do to make our business a success and to take care of those customers. September 1st, sorry, this is so hard for me. Chuck Betts passed away after being my mentor for 53 years. It was a tough loss. It was a tough loss. He was my second dad. Nobody was I closer to in the business world than Chuck Betts. If I had one lunch with that guy, I had 1,000 lunches with that guy. And by the way, if you ever need a two-crusted pie, Chuck Betts could have told you where the best two-crusted pie was in any city he ever attended. I also want to recognize my mother and father, Bill and Edna Willis, who have certainly passed. They taught me about giving back to the community. My dad was a Chevrolet dealer in a little town in Smyrna, Delaware, and he gave to any organization that crossed his door. When somebody in the community were to pass away, the stove in our kitchen would turn on because my mother was about ready to bake a cake and to take it to that family that day. There came a time to go away to college. And some of you in this auditorium are old enough to remember college catalogs. And some of you are not. But there was a college catalog that I found on my brother's bookcase, and it said Simpson College. I looked at it. I thought it looked like it had a pretty good business education department, pretty campus. And oh, by the way, they were pretty girls. I tore the application out of the back, put it in the envelope, sent it away. 2 weeks later, you're accepted. I said to my mother and father, I'm going to Simpson College in Indianola, Iowa. My mother said, why in God's name are you going to Simpson College in Indianola, Iowa? 3 things: good business administration, good-looking campus, and pretty girls. Well, it was another one of the best decisions I ever made. Then I met this guy named Chuck Betts and started working for him. And again, talking about learning about giving and caring for the community, you couldn't have learned from a better guy, a real sage, like many of you in this auditorium tonight. Chuck got a phone call in the late 1970s from the Boys Club of Des Moines. No, it wasn't Boys and Girls Club back then. It was the Boys Club of Des Moines. And they asked him to be on the board. And he said, no, I'm on 2 many boards. but I got a guy. Here I was, served up to work on the Boys Club of Des Moines. Maddie Glazer was sitting right beside me with her yarn, knitting. Connie, you can shake your head because you remember those days and being in board members with her. Former mayor of the city of Des Moines, George Whitmer, Dan Clifford, Bernie Baker, B.J. Baker's dad. And we did some wonderful things with that, but that was the first nonprofit that I ever served on. But I learned from those sages of the people I just mentioned on how to give back and give to those boys that were in need of some leadership skills through the Boys Club. The other thing you always have to remember is surrounding yourself with wonderful people. And I can tell you, there's a guy in the auditorium tonight that is the best hire we ever made. Like you were Bill Knapp's hire, it'd be a guy named Jim Usgard sitting right over here right now. The best hire we ever made. He retired, but he's really not retired because he came back and we got him working part-time. Surround yourself with terrific people and your business will be successful. I'd like to recognize all the other honorees. And the thing about this little mom and pop community we call Des Moines, there are no 7 degrees of separation in this city. There may be 1 degree or 2 degrees, but are not 7 degrees. And every one of these honorees has touched so many people within our community. We're so blessed to live in this place called Des Moines. What you do for organizations like United Way, Des Moines Community Foundation, Habitat for Humanity, and on and on and on. People around the country are jealous, ladies and gentlemen. They're jealous of how kind you are. You are truly the pillars. You are the giants. You are the shoulders so many people are looking up to and wanting to be on your shoulders. And the neat part of it is, when any one of them call on you, you open your door and you say, sure, let's get together for that cup of coffee. Sure, let's get together and talk about that possibility. Sure, I'll listen to whatever you've got to say, and maybe we can support you. I'm humbled, I'm thankful, and most importantly, I'm blessed to have all of you in my life. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
I shared a quote with our team today. It goes like this. It's really short. The grass is always greenest where you water it. And I've been sitting here tonight listening to that, and I've been thinking about that and what I shared with the team was you can do that in so many ways, especially when there's lots of big challenges or if there's things that maybe are not within your control in the community. But you have the opportunity wherever you are to be looking in your life across a variety of areas of where you can water, where you can pour yourself into. And if you look at all these sages, the things that they poured themselves into and the places they've helped really put their energy into, you can see the results of that all over. And I think that's worth a big round of applause for reminding all of us of how we can do that each and every day. Again, the stories of all of our honorees are in the November-December issue of DSM Magazine, which you can find on your tables. For stories like this, as well as other issues of where to go and here in Iowa, we encourage you to subscribe to DSM. Make sure to check out a brand new addition to the DSM lineup, DSM Dish, which we released on Friday. It's the inside scoop for food lovers. You're going to love it. It really helps fill a need in this community. We have such a great food scene here in Des Moines. That product is being brought to you each Friday. It's going to be in DSM Magazine to really highlight and elevate the great work that's happening here in the great agricultural scene that we have here. So make sure to check that out. To our presenting sponsors and supporting sponsors, the deepest thanks for making this possible. We don't get to do things like this without your support, without your help. So thank you again. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thanks again to the DSM and BPC team here for putting on tonight's event. It takes a big group to do that, so let's give them a big round of applause as well. I'd be remiss not to give Christy a big round of applause for her big help as well. And lastly, tonight I'd like to introduce you to somebody who's offered me and perhaps many of you some sage advice over your careers. Please welcome Miss Connie Weimer.
Well, my closing remarks can be very brief because our 7 sages were so articulate and said most of what I want to say. They said it with humor and with great feeling. And so the first thing I want to say is congratulations and thank you to this year's 7 sages who have lived an extraordinary life of giving and I think and hope much happiness. I also want to recognize the lives and the gifts from all of the former sages that are here tonight or had to be someplace else. And our partnership with Community Foundation has been so meaningful throughout the years. They coach all of us on ways to make this a better community. Our sponsors, of course, we're forever grateful. We couldn't do this without you. But our city is filled with a group of quality volunteers. I'm frequently asked when I travel, what makes Des Moines special? And the first thing I always say is the quality of our volunteers, the commitment of those people. And tonight, I want to just recognize everyone who is here, not just the former, but the future sages. And this is one of my favorite events to honor the middle-aged people at 70 or over. So to each of you, thank you for being here and honoring these special, special people. See you next year.